together. Let's get it. Turn it up to the maximum.
Scourge is undeniably one of the most powerful trophy hunters in the Transformers franchise, and even appeared as the Dark God Unicron's right-hand man in the recent movie. He has an army of Terrorcons who act at his command, and he is known for causing death and destruction wherever he goes. Scourge is certainly not a regular villain, and it would take a special team of Autobots to come together and take him down. Even someone as powerful as Optimus Prime does not stand a chance against Scourge in a hand-to-hand combat. And we also see the two of them go up against each other in the recently released Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Peter Dinklage did an excellent job of voicing this character in the film, and today we will explore Scourge's anatomy and tell you everything about him. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
We're in the middle of an ongoing war.
How is Scourge in Rise of the Beasts different from his older versions? Scourge's backstory and character design have constantly been evolving throughout the course of the Transformers franchise, and he was initially introduced as an antagonist in the 1986 animated Transformers movie. In this version, Scourge was a Decepticon tractor who often hunted people down for Galvatron. He also had a white and blue body, and he was created from the dead body of a Transformer known as Thundercracker. This version of Scourge underwent some changes in the toy line and animated series, and the Transformers Robots in Disguise series introduced him as a part of a reprogrammed Autobot protoform. In this series, Scourge looked like Optimus Prime's evil counterpart and had a gray truck alt form. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts sought inspiration from this version of the character, and Scourge retains a semi-truck alt form in the movie. Rise of the Beast also gives Scourge a higher status, and he's introduced as the leader of the Terrorcons. He is essentially a reimagined version of his older self, and the creators have also slightly altered his appearance. One can say that Scourge's character got a considerable upgrade in Rise of the Beast. He has quite a significant role in the movie, and he's undoubtedly his strongest version yet.
Hey, you're not supposed to be in here.
Who says?
What has been the story of Scourge so far in the franchise? Scourge was first introduced as a hunter who worked under the leadership of Galvatron, and he seemed to be quite content with following his boss's orders and going on missions for him. He had an arrogant personality and was often known for complaining about his tasks. After the Battle of Autobot City, Unicron used Thundercracker's dead body to create Scourge, who later returned to Cybertron with Galvatron. They even worked together, and Scourge often assured Galvatron that he would stay by his side while he was planning an uprising. Eventually, Scourge started agreeing with Unicron's ideologies more than Galvatron, and it's unknown if he defended Cybertron when Unicron's forces launched an attack after getting wind of Galvatron's plans for an uprising. After this attack, Scourge and Cyclonius worked together to locate Galvatron and bring him back, and they found him on the planet of Thrull. Galvatron even tried to attack them, but Scourge reassured him of his position and declared that he was loyal to him. After some time, Scourge was possessed by the ghost of Starscream, who took him to Unicron. At this time, Unicron existed in the form of a decapitated head that was trying to connect itself to Cybertron to gain a new body. While Scourge initially obeyed Unicron's order, he soon became apprehensive of him, and later returned to the Decepticons and helped Galvatron obtain the Matrix of Leadership. Galvatron soon ordered Scourge to destroy the Matrix, but Scourge decided to fuse the Matrix with his body instead. This had detrimental side effects on his physique, and he turned into a grotesque, power-hungry freak for some time until the other Decepticons restored his body. After some time, Scourge accompanied the Decepticons when they attacked Autobot City with the intention of stealing a key that would lead them to the Plasma Energy Chamber. During these events, Scourge faced the Autobots on the planet of Nebulos, and even came across the Hive Council that ruled over Nebulos. There was a lot of conflict over the possession of the key, and this chaos caught the attention of the Seeker, who was intrigued by them. The Seeker finally captured Scourge, Galvatron, and many others, and then put them into suspended animation with the intention of keeping them hostage as part of his collection. They did manage to escape with some help from Optimus Prime, and Scourge even realized that he had now gained enhanced strength. He did continue to assist Galvatron, fight against the Autobots, and eventually even help with Unicron in his missions across his story arc. in both the series and the comics. So far, Scourge has only served as a Decepticon under the leadership of Galvatron, and his role as a leader in Rise of the Beast is certainly a refreshing change for his character. What makes Scourge so powerful? Scourge has always been portrayed as a massive threat to the Autobots, and he's essentially the main antagonist in Transformers Rise of the Beast. The Cybertronian villain has no trouble defeating Optimus Prime in their first meeting, and one does wonder where Scourge gets his powers from. As it turns out, Scourge was Unicron's underling, and he's actually one of the most powerful men working for this dark god. Unicron often sends Scourge on missions to locate planets for him, and he even gives him the responsibility of finding the transwarp key. Scourge was directly powered by Unicron, and he also possessed a fraction of his power. While Scourge only has limited access to Unicron's power, we must remember that Unicron is a near invulnerable entity, and even a tiny amount of his power would make Scourge stronger than any other Cybertronians. With Unicron's power and an army of Terracons under his command, Scourge has enough power to defeat anyone who dares cross his path.
Peace!
Is Scourge more powerful than Optimus Prime? While Optimus Prime is one of the most accomplished Autobots, Scourge actually defeated him quite easily during a face-off in Transformers Rise of the Beast. Scourge could easily block all of Prime's attacks, and he even had no trouble overpowering the Autobots' leader and defeating him. This is quite a testament to Scourge's strength, as we know that Prime is one of the most powerful Cybertronians ever. Prime eventually manages to kill Scourge, but it takes a Herculean effort on Optimus's part to finally defeat Scourge. What are some of the deadliest weapons used by Scourge? In the live-action Rise of the Beasts, Scourge also has a huge double-bladed sword attached to his right hand. This enabled him to directly slash his blade at his opponents and destroy them in just one strike. At the beginning of the film, Scourge tries to get his hands on the transwarp key, while Ape-Link and his team of Maximals protect the key from him. When Optimus Prime arrived at the scene, Ape-Link declared him to be the new leader of the Maximals and even handed the key to him. While he asked Optimus Primal to escape, Ape-Link stayed back to hold the fort down against Scourge. However, Scourge had no difficulty defeating Ape-Link and used his double-bladed sword to kill Ape-Link. Scourge even struck at Ape-Link's shoulder with his electronic claw and finally took Ape-Link's crest for himself before leaving him to die. While Scourge's right hand is essentially a sword, his left hand has been modified into a giant electric claw that can grasp anything or pierce through someone's body. During the film, we can see Scourge using his sharp claw to pierce Ape-Link, and later even use it to attack Bumblebee. Scourge was also seen using deadly electric shock powers against his opponents, and he also has some other weapons, such as acid rays and disintegrator beams, at his disposal. He also has laser blasters and ion cannons that shoot powerful, lethal blasts by using the immense energy stored within his body. What does Scourge transform into? Scourge transforms into Peterbilt 369 style truck, and his toy version can also be combined with the core class Freezer toy. Scourge's design is quite similar to Optimus Prime's, and some of his body parts are reused assets from Prime's body. Fans have also wondered whether Scourge's form is similar to Optimus's form from the first 5 Transformer films by Michael Bay, as most of the toys seem to fit Optimus Prime's toy mold. This is not entirely true, as the two of them have drastic height differences. However, they do share some features, and we can't deny that their alt forms are visibly similar. How did the Freezers and other minions help Scourge? Scourge commanded an army of Terracons, and Freezers were essentially mechanical insectoid Terracons that could detect the presence of any prey. Scourge would often send these Freezers to locate his prey, and these creatures often varied in size. They also appeared in Transformers Rise of the Beast, where we can clearly see the difference in size and appearance of these creatures. When Optimus is about to kill Scourge, more than 5 Freezers jump on him, and we can clearly see that these Freezer units have different heights. Scourge had total control over the Freezers and even the Terracons, who were not aligned with any side, such as Autobots or Decepticons. The Terracons were only hardwired to follow the instructions of their leader, Scourge, and they did stir up some trouble under his leadership in the recent Transformers film. They were dangerous creatures who were also given a fraction of Unicron's strength. They posed quite a threat to the Autobots, especially under Scourge's watchful eye. Does Unicron possess his soul? Scourge is an extremely powerful entity on his own, but one does wonder how he reached such incredible heights of power, and how he has command over an army of Terracons. While Scourge does rule his army of followers, he's not a free being, and his soul is also under the control of the dark god, Unicron. Scourge is a sentient being whose soul is possessed by Unicron, who views Scourge as a toy who will follow all his orders. Scourge is not mighty on his own, and he can only wield whatever limited amounts of power Unicron has granted him. The dark god has total control over Scourge's strength, which is only as powerful as Unicron wishes him to be. Can Scourge be killed? While Scourge seems to be a near invulnerable entity who has managed to destroy almost everyone in his path, he was eventually killed at the hands of Optimus Prime in Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Of course, it was not easy to kill him, and the Autobots leader had to give his all in order to finally get rid of the Terracon leader for once and for all. Earlier on, Scourge had defeated Optimus in a fight, and the Autobot leader was finally aware of the fact that his regular powers would not suffice in another fight against Scourge. In the final battle that takes place during the movie's climax, Optimus Prime uses lava to heat his weapons and make them more deadly before finally attacking Scourge. Prime and his allies were also trying to close a portal that would enable Unicron to travel to Earth, while Scourge did his best to keep the portal open. After a long fight where both parties unleashed their deadliest forms against each other, Optimus Prime demands the Autobots, Maximals, and other allies to get to safety while he engages in a one-to-one combat with Scourge. Prime finally struck Scourge with his lava-charged weapons and put an end to his life, and Scourge did die, but not before damaging the control console that would have otherwise prevented Unicron from traveling to Earth. After Scourge's death, Optimus Prime destroyed the transwarp key to close the portal and ensure that Unicron could not travel to Earth. He took this decision at great personal expense and almost got stuck into the portal while destroying the key. However, Optimus Prime eventually did manage to stop Unicron from traveling to Earth, while Noah and Optimus Primal came to his rescue and ensured that he would not get sucked into the closing portal. While Scourge was killed off at the end, he turned out to be quite a menace, and it took a lot of effort on the Autobots' part in order to finally defeat him. How does Scourge compare to some of the major Transformers villains? While Scourge has proved his strength, one wonders how well he might fare against Megatron or other major Transformer villains. Scourge is essentially a Unicronian Decepticon, and most of his powers surpass the abilities of regular Transformers. He also has exceptional hunting skills and equipment that enable him to find any human or machine anywhere in the universe. He also has a huge arsenal of weapons, including acid rays, laser blasters, and disintegrator beams. Scourge's powers and abilities are most definitely at par with Megatron's, and it's safe to presume that the two of them would give each other a tough fight if they were ever pitted against each other. Scourge does fare well compared to most other villains, but at the same time, he's not the most powerful antagonist out there. If Scourge went up against supervillains like the Fallen, he would undoubtedly be defeated. This leader of the Terracons proved to be a deadly villain, but he most certainly cannot hold a candle against someone as invulnerable as the Fallen. Conclusion. To sum it up, Scourge certainly made an impact in the recent Transformers film, and he also put up a great fight against Optimus Prime. His intimidating presence and command over the Terracons make him quite a fearsome entity, and it's been an absolute pleasure to get to watch him get the attention he deserves. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone!